Picture this. In a remote corner of Ethiopia, the earth just tears itself open. A volcano, one that's been completely silent since the last ice age, suddenly roars back to life with incredible force. This is the story of Hayli Gubbi's shocking reawakening.
I mean, for the people on the ground, this came out of absolutely nowhere. This one quote from a local resident just perfectly captures that raw, unexpected power of a blast that just completely shattered an otherwise quiet Sunday morning.
Let's just try to wrap our heads around that number. 12,000 years. This volcano has been silent for the entire period of recorded human history, since the end of the last ice age. This wasn't just a quiet volcano. Everyone thought of it as a sleeping giant.
So how does a volcano stay quiet for 12 millennia and then all of a sudden explode with such incredible violence? That's the huge mystery we're going to unpack right here.
Okay, so let's go back. The date is November 23rd, 2025. We're in Ethiopia's Afar region, which is, by the way, one of the hottest and most geologically wild places on the entire planet. And this wasn't some small burp. We're talking about an explosive eruption. People who were there reported a massive blast, a shockwave that they could feel for miles around. And then this enormous column of ash and gas just started punching its way straight up into the atmosphere. The sheer scale of this is just staggering. The ash plume shot up 15 kilometers. That's about 50,000 feet into the sky. To put that in perspective, that is nearly twice the height of Mount Everest. Just incredible. It was so powerful, it blasted a huge amount of material directly into the upper troposphere.
Now, an eruption this big doesn't just stay local. The consequences of that one blast in Ethiopia went global, really fast. It created this massive cloud that basically embarked on an unwelcome tour around the world.
And this thing moved fast. It's actually pretty remarkable. Within just 24 hours, the main cloud of ash and sulfur dioxide was already over the Arabian Peninsula. By day 3, it's sitting over southern Pakistan and northeastern India, and it was still moving, heading right for China.
And the impact was immediate. Aviation authorities scrambled, issuing alerts across the Middle East and South Asia. Flights had to be diverted, air quality warnings were going out in Yemen and Oman. And back in Ethiopia, entire villages were just blanketed in ash, which threatened the livelihoods of thousands of local herders who completely depend on that land for their animals.
Okay, so we've covered the what. A huge eruption with global consequences. But that leaves us with the really big question. Why? And why now? To figure that out, we've got to understand the difference between a volcano that's just taking a nap and one that's truly gone for good. Right, so a dormant volcano isn't extinct. It's just paused, maybe for a very, very long time. But deep down, the machinery, the conditions for magma to form can still be there, just kind of waiting for the right trigger. And this is such a crucial distinction. It means Hayli Gubbi wasn't dead. It was only sleeping. And what happened in 2025 was its incredibly abrupt wake-up call. The potential to blow was always there, lurking beneath the surface. And its location is absolutely key here. It's located in one of the most volcanically dynamic places on Earth. The East African Rift is literally where the African continent is splitting apart. All that tectonic stretching and pulling creates pathways for magma to move, which makes the whole area a hotbed of volcanic potential. So, if the potential was always there, what was the final nudge? What pushed it over the edge? Well, the answer, it turns out, wasn't found at Hayli Gubbi itself, but with its very active next-door neighbor. This is it. This is the key to the whole mystery. What lit the fuse on this 12,000-year-old giant? Well, the geological clues point to a chain reaction that actually started months before the big eruption.
Okay, so here's how it all went down. It all started back in July, when the famous Ale volcano, only about 12 kilometers away, had its own eruption. That event sent a blade-like intrusion of magma, what's called a dike, spreading sideways underground. And crucially, it spread directly toward Hayli Gubbi. It opened up new fissures and basically started pressurizing the whole magma system, just 2 kilometers away from its crater. So here's the bottom line. This eruption wasn't random at all. The sleeping giant didn't just wake up on its own. It was nudged awake, shoved really, by its neighbor. That intrusion from air to Ale was the trigger that reactivated the ancient plumbing system under Hayli Gubbi, and that's what led to the massive eruption in November.
Now, what makes this whole event so important for science isn't just what happened, but how we saw it happen. This whole thing was like a masterclass in 21st century volcanology. You see, the Danakil Depression is incredibly remote. It's brutally hot, it's hard to get to, there are no ground sensors there to pick up earthquakes or swelling ground, nothing. Our only eyes on this entire event, from that first magma intrusion in July to the giant explosion in November, were satellites. This whole drama from start to finish was captured entirely from space. And that proves we can now watch these hidden processes like never before, which totally changes how we look at volcanic risk. The story of Hayli Gubbi is so much more than a cool geological detective story. It's a huge wake-up call. It proves that these so-called sleeping giants can be woken up by their neighbors. It forces us to look at entire volcanic regions differently, not as a bunch of individual mountains, but as interconnected systems. Think about the Cascade Range in the Pacific Northwest, or the volcanic fields near Naples in Italy, places where dormant volcanoes sit right next to active ones. The Hayli Gubbi event gives us a brand new way to assess those risks, which leaves us with a pretty chilling question. How many other giants are out there, not really sleeping, but just listening for a knock from next door?